The distress beacon pierced through the void of space like a dying star's last gasp. Theo adjusted the scanners on his cargo hauler, the Wanderer's Hope, and frowned at the readings. Whatever was out there wasn't supposed to exist in this sector demilitarized zone. That even pirates avoided. Probably just debris, he muttered. But his fingers were already plotting an intercept course. 5 years of running salvage ops had taught him that curiosity often paid better than caution. What he found wasn't debris. The escape pod tumbled through space, its hull scorched and breached in 3 places. Through the viewport, Theo could see her an alien female, her blue-gray skin mottled with purple bruises, her arms floating limp in zero gravity. Her species was unknown to him, but the biomonitors in his suit screamed warnings about radiation and atmospheric incompatibility. "You're going to get yourself killed," he told himself, even as he maneuvered the pod into his cargo bay. Evelyn regained consciousness to the smell of burnt metal and something oddly organic, almost like soil after rain. Her secondary hearts hammered against her chest as fragmented memories returned. The ambush, the screaming, her ship disintegrating around her dot, and then the human dot she sat upright too quickly, sending a wave of nausea through her system. The chamber around her was crude, but functional, a converted cargo hold with medical equipment that looked cobbled together from a dozen different civilizations. Standing at the doorway was the human male, holding what appeared to be a scanner. "Easy there," Theo said, raising his hands in what he hoped was a universal gesture of peace. "You've been out for 2 days. Lost a lot of blood or whatever that purple stuff is." Evelyn's translator implant kicked in, rendering his words into her native ZHatari. She stared at him with all 4 of her eyes, her breathing apparatus flaring. "You saved me. Found you drifting. Couldn't just leave you out there." He shrugged, as if rescuing dying aliens was a routine Tuesday. "Do you know what I am?" Her voice trembled not from weakness, but from disbelief. Theo scratched his head. "An alien who needed help." Evelyn's laugh came out as a harsh, chittering sound. "I am ZHatari. My people are the galaxy's apex predators. We conquered 17 systems before your species even developed interstellar travel." "Okay," Theo said slowly. "Want some soup?" Over the following days, Evelyn learned something that both fascinated and horrified her. Humans didn't understand fear the way other species did. The ZHatari were legendary throughout the galaxy. 7-foot-tall apex hunters, with reflexes faster than thought and strength that could bend steel. A single ZHatari warrior could slaughter an entire platoon of Krell shock troops. Their empire had been built on the broken backs of lesser species, their reputation forged in blood and terror. Every civilized race in the galaxy knew one rule: never approach a ZHatari, never engage, never provoke. And this human had dragged her unconscious body into his ship, patched her wounds, and offered her soup. "Didn't you skin my biology?" Evelyn asked one evening, watching Theo repair a coolant leak with alarming nonchalance. "Sure did. Impressive muscle density. Those secondary hearts are pretty neat too. And you weren't afraid?" Theo paused, wrench in hand. "Afraid of what?" "You were bleeding out in a busted pod. Not exactly a threat. I could kill you right now," Evelyn said flatly. "Tear your head from your body before you could blink." "Could you though?" Theo gestured at her bandaged torso, where his jury-rigged medical equipment had sealed 3 puncture wounds. "You can barely walk to the bathroom without help." It wasn't the response a ZHatari warrior expected. It wasn't fear or bravado, it was simply practicality tinged with concern. The transmission reached the ZHatari High Command on the 3rd day. "Repeat your last." The Admiral hissed into the comm, her spine ridges fully extended in agitation. "Confirmed, Admiral. Princess Evelyn's life signature has been detected aboard a human vessel. The Wanderer's Hope, registered to 1 Theo Castellan. Human male, no military affiliation." Silence stretched across the bridge. Every officer present understood the implications. Princess Evelyn was not just any ZHatari. She was the daughter of the sovereign War Mother, heir to the Empire. And most critically, she carried the genetic template for the next generation of Shtari warriors. Her DNA was encoded with ancestral memories of conquest, hardened through millennia of selective breeding. If she died, The HFY succession would collapse into civil war if she was captured. She could be weaponized, and now she was in the hands of a human. Scramble the fleet, the admiral commanded. Authorization level crimson. All protocols suspended. Admiral, the humans. If we enter their space in force, I know what it means, the admiral snapped. But what choice did they have? Theo was teaching Evelyn how to play poker when the proximity alarms screamed. That's not good, he said, checking the scanners. His face went pale. That's really not good. 17 HFY warships had just dropped out of hyperspace, surrounding his tiny hauler in a formation that could only be described as overwhelming. Evelyn moved to the comm panel, her wounds protesting, but her voice steady. This is Princess Evelyn of the Sovereign Line. Stand down. I am unharmed, Princess. The Admiral's voice crackled with barely restrained panic. We are prepared to extract you immediately. Is the human holding you hostage? Evelyn glanced at Theo, who was frantically checking if his ship's meager shields were even functioning. No, he saved my life. He has offered me sanctuary and asked for nothing in return. The silence that followed was deafening. Princess, humans don't simply help. What does he want? I believe, Evelyn said slowly, watching Theo curse at a stuck airlock. He wants to make sure I'm okay before I leave. The news spread through the galaxy like wildfire. A human and nobody salvager with a rust bucket ship had saved a HFY princess. Not for reward, not for leverage, not even knowing what she was. He'd done it because it was the right thing to do. The Galactic Council emergency session lasted 14 hours. The Krell demanded an investigation. The Vex wanted economic sanctions. The HFY Sovereign War Mother herself called for nothing. She simply requested an audience with Theo Castellan. When asked why, she gave an answer that chilled every delegate present, because if humans don't understand what they should fear, then perhaps we've been fearing the wrong things. Theo never understood what the fuss was about. He'd helped someone in trouble. That's what decent people did. But as Evelyn departed on HFY Royal Transport, she turned to him with all four eyes gleaming. You have made an ally today, Theo Castellan. The HFY do not forget debts, just doing what anyone would do, Theo replied. No, Evelyn said softly. That's what terrifies them.